In Christianity, there are two great dogmas. One is dogma about Trinity, one God and three persons. The second one is incarnation. So these are the two great dogmas of Christian Church. And these two great dogmas are encapsulated in one sacrament called Holy Communion. The whole drama, the Christological drama of the universe, everything is inserted in this sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. And also how this one God, three persons, they live. How can we explain? What words we can use? Thanks to Greek theology, they use a word called perikoresis. Perikoresis. Perikoresis means co-dwelling, co-inhering, interpenetration, mutual. We can call it symbiotic in our terms. That means everything is related. So, this is how this one God and three persons, they relate to each other for eternity. In short terms, I can tell you, we can understand much easier what is perikorosis means. It's a eternal love making. It's a eternally they make love. There is no separation in love making. When two people make love, they feel one. There is no dualism. Dualism is excluded. Only they feel one. Like music and dance, man and woman making love, they become one. So that is the observation I get from the perikoresis. And also another observation I find there is egalitarian existence. There is no privileged master there. There is no privileged members either. There is no single master. Everybody is equal for eternity. So in such kind of relationship, non-hierarchical, only they become equals. And there is no discrimination. They can live happily ever after. So let us apply this Eucharistic, the sacrament of the Eucharist to planet Earth. I call it a Eucharistic planet. This is a white host. This is a blue host. The same thing if you go to space. The first picture, Americans took a picture in Apollo mission, I think Apollo 8. The first picture when they filmed planet Earth from 320,000 kilometers away from the moon's horizon, they saw the perikoresis. They saw land, water, air. Only three elements. The white signified air, the blue signified water, the brown signified land. These three things, they are in a gossamer vision. It's a relationship, it's a perikoresis. Air is penetrating the water, water penetrating the land. It's a perikoresis relationship, one God and three persons. So, planet Earth, these three elements, they came to form life. So, from space, when you look at planet Earth, you don't see life there, but you see three elements, water, air and land. But it is a deception. There is life there because these three combinations, they become life. So planet Earth itself is a living organism because it's a superorganism. These three elements, they make a living planet. In fact, the scientists call it a superorganism. Today, scientific evidence really support this theory. Planet Earth is a living planet. Today, the astronomers, astronomers, no? Astronomers, they study about cosmos, about stars, about planets, and about asteroids. But astronomers, they study about atmosphere in a special way, upper atmosphere. So our atmosphere extends all the way 450 kilometers high, divided into troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, different spheres. When you go beyond 450 kilometers, you come to space. Many people think that's the end of the atmosphere. The recent experiments have showed our atmosphere breathes 15 kilometers. It inhales and 15 kilometers it exhales. So the recent scientific evidence supports that it is a living organism. It is not something like a dead matter. So, today, many people think that planet Earth itself is a life. It is not a planet which supports life. It itself is a life. On the surface, we live on that. So it is something like our cells live in our body. I am a planet. The cells are different organisms. They live. They make a home inside my body. So the same scenario could be applied to planet Earth. I want to develop Eucharist a little more further philosophically in metaphysics. There are three important elements happening in the Eucharist. One is transubstantiation. We all studied about it. And the second one is a communion. It becomes a feeding. It is a feeding object, and it's a mutual feeding. And also the third thing is intimate self-sharing. So these are the 3 points we can understand when you study the metaphysics of the Holy Eucharist. You know, we studied in metaphysics the substance and the accidents. The white host has both of them, substance and accidents. When the white host becomes the body of Christ, the accidents, the color, the shape, they all remain the same, but only substance changes. So that is called transubstantiation. Planet Earth, let us apply right now. The same thing happens, but only in the reverse. There's a twist to it. Here, the accidents change, the substance remains the same. So for example, the recent discovery of the God particle, the boson. So we can take the recent discovery as an example. You see, boson is a building block of matter. So far we thought atoms or quarks or gluons, muons, these are the building blocks of life. But today we have found some more basic element. We go still further deep inside and we found an indivisible particle called boson. So that is the building block of matter. So we can see the transubstantiation in this even dead matter in atoms itself. You see, boson became atom. Atom became molecule. It's a dead matter, okay? Transubstantiation. Boson to molecule now. Now, the building block of matter is going to become building block of life itself. There are 3 stages there. Building blocks of life. All the amino acids like water, carbon, ammonia, hydrogen, these are the building blocks of life. They transubstantiated into protozoa, a primitive life like algae or one-cell microscopic bacteria, those organisms. So transubstantiation. Then it became the metazoa, that is a complex life. That is what we are. Man is a complex life. So transubstantiation from boson to life now, to man. Also inner transubstantiation is happening right now. Awareness, brain, consciousness, enlightenment. So transubstantiation is not only happening in the Holy Eucharist, also planet itself. And the second element is mutual feeding. Jesus uttered those great words, take it and eat it. This is my body. The planet Earth itself is a communion where one animal eats the another animal. For example, stone telling to grass, take it and eat me. This is my body. The same words are being uttered. So stone becomes grass because stone's elements, calcium, potassium, and other vitamins, they are transferred to grass. Now grass telling to a cow, take it and eat it. This is my body. The cow eats it. Transubstantiation happened now. So it has become, grass has become a cow's flesh. Cow looking at man and telling, take it and eat it. This is my body. Transubstantiation now happened, human flesh. See, a stone now transubstantiated into human flesh. So, planet Earth does so beautifully well. So it's a mutual feeding. So the sacrifice, the element of sacrifice also can be discerned in the mutual feeding. So planet Earth is a Eucharistic planet. The third thing is the intimate self-sharing. Eucharistic is about intimate relationship. God gave His own body. Body is very, very personal, very, very intimate. Only lovers can see the body. Not everybody can see that. So Jesus gave His own body, the intimate thing to be given. So human body is a human resource. So Jesus' resource was His own body. His own inner dimension also, compassion, love, kindness. So those are the things what Jesus gave to humanity. He did not give gold and silver. He did not give any money, no economic value, but only the biological value from His own body. He has transferred to the planet, to the Eucharist. So today, in planet Earth, the same intimate self-sharing should happen. Otherwise, we will exploit the planet more and more. The ecological crisis now surfaced because of human greed. So we think the elements from the earth can satisfy us. So we dig and we pillage and we ruin the planet. The gold and silver and fossil fuel, coal and everything we take from the earth, thinking that they are going to satisfy us. But the contrary is true, they will never satisfy you. Small greed will lead to the bigger greed. So only the elements in the inner dimension of man, those are the resources which can give lasting peace to humanity. So we should stop digging the earth and start digging your own human resources from within. They are more powerful than the natural resources of the earth. The compassion can heal the world. Peace can really bring back the equilibrium on planet Earth. Kindness, love, all these are human resources locked up inside. That's what Jesus brought outside in the form of a Holy Eucharist. So today, we should dig within ourselves, bring them, and they can give you lasting satisfaction. Now, there is a big dichotomy in our theologies, like Eucharistic theology and planet Earth Eucharistic theology. There are big dichotomies. The theology doesn't, when we shift to the natural world, to the secular world, it doesn't make any sense. For example, Mary, devotion to Mary. We glorify one woman. We put her on pedestals and we put her in the theatre and everywhere we put her. And we give so many titles, morning star, evening star, night star. So many titles we give. That Marian theology doesn't help us to understand our ordinary women in the villages. When we confront our women in the villages, we suppress them. We glorify one at the one end and we suppress women the other end. This is the conflict between the theology and the science or theology and the secular world. And man, for example, man is Jesus. He is glorified. He is glorified. He is a liberator and he is a redeemer and he is a savior. The other end, what we do? We create discriminations in human society and we put down humanity, slavery, caste problems. We glorify one man, humanity, we ill-treat. The third thing is the hierarchy. One side, we glorify popes and bishops. The other side, when we come back to the parish, we don't even give respect to ordinary people in the parishes. This is a dichotomy in theology. One side, we glorify, another side, you suppress. So we have to come to formulate a theological basis for environmental action. So what is that? There are three things there. One is you have to understand how planet Earth works and how science is talking about all these mysteries of the universe. So study of a science, let us say it, okay? We should study all of them to be able to understand our relationship with the nature. The second thing is the human person in relationship with the cosmos. Maybe I would call it science. So what is our place? Are we above creation? Or we are within creation? Or we are under creation? So what is the role of man here? Are we a special species? As we say, we are the image of God. Or we are one species among 2 million other species of animals and plants. So we have to learn, and we have to learn our responsibility of stewardship. So that is the second point. The third point is role of church in ecology. So now those two things we have learned, now application. So now you make an eco-theology out of it and you apply to planet Earth to save it. So that is called the ecological theology. Today we call by many names. One is ecological theology. So this kind of awareness can bring our worship of the Eucharist, the religious piety of the Eucharist, can bring and should help us to appreciate the cosmic piety of the planet Earth. So in that way, we can bring equilibrium in these days of ecological crisis. And I think we can undo our anthropological motives, which is the reason for all the exploitation around the world, because we are the image of God. So today, let us come to the understanding of the biocentric reality. We are part of nature. So anthropocentric is the death of spirituality. Anthropocentric always dominates, and it is one-sided. It can be never a genuine spirituality. So a genuine spirituality can be creation-centered, because God offered salvation to everyone, to creation. Actually, when Jesus was born, behold, I give a good news to all creation. It is not for man. When he went to heaven, he gave a command, go and preach to the good news to whole of creation. Not only. So we should never limit this mission to humans alone and it to the creation. So planet Earth, it's the Eucharistic planet, and we are in it, and also we become Eucharist. And all parts of nature, they become Eucharist.